So the Chamber of Commerce is applauding the government's improvements announced in the federal fall economic update, which will provide some improvements to our competitiveness as well as regulatory reform. So what does that mean specifically? The Canadian Chamber has been calling for the immediate implementation of 100% write-offs of capital investment across all economic sectors. While this hasn't happened all the way, certainly the measurements that have been announced yesterday are an important step in the right direction for accelerated capital cost allowance. So what that means is allowing businesses to immediately write off the full cost of any machinery and equipment which is used for manufacturing or the processing of goods. And also, they've also introduced an accelerated investment incentive, which will allow businesses of all sizes and in all sectors of the economy to write off a larger share of the cost of the newly acquired assets in the year that the investment is made. And that increase is about 3 times the previous allowance. The other piece that we're really pleased to see is the commitment to regulatory reform. So these announcements reflect some of the core elements that were outlined in the Canadian Chamber's recent report, Death by 130,000 Cuts, Improving Canada's Regulatory Competitiveness. And the commitments that have been made include introducing an annual modernization bill to keep regulations up to date, creating a dedicated external advisory committee on regulatory competitiveness to make regulations agile, and launching a center for regulatory innovation. So we think that this is a really positive step forward, and we're quite pleased to see these changes come to fruition. In addition, the government has committed to work to remove barriers to trade within Canada by working with the provinces and territories to enable businesses to transport goods more easily, to harmonize food regulations and inspections, to align regulations in the construction sector, and to facilitate greater trade in alcohol between provinces and territories. One final note of interest to Northern Ontario is the 5-year extension of the 15% mineral exploration tax credit. And this helps junior exploration companies to raise capital to finance early stage mineral exploration. So to read the full Canadian Chamber policy analysis of the fall economic update, please visit our website tbchamber.ca. And again, we applaud the Canadian government for these improvements.